Hi guys, Wayne's Butler here. Well, looks like Christian Bale has left the building. Oh, I can't believe I finally got this wrapped up. As some of you guys know, this is probably one of the biggest, hardest projects I've ever undertaken. Mostly because I've never made clothes before. Very, very frustrating. I basically spent the whole week making a pattern for this robe. I guess the last time we left my last video, we got the undergarment here done. And this robe was hard. This robe was hard. Now to start out with, like I had mentioned, I think it was a hide. And considering the part of the world it was in, probably yak hide or something, something exotic. And I actually looked into it. I actually went looking at some hides. Now the problem with real hide, especially untreated hide, that's not tanned, it's 1-to-1. It's 1-to-1 scale, you know what I mean? So the cut marks and everything from where it was cut off the body, I know it's not a nice topic, but this is a PETA friendly figure, so it just wasn't going to work, and I don't have access to exotic leathers. And to make this thing out of leather, it would have posed many more challenges. So I figured, okay, I'm going to use the fabric, but I'm going to paint it to look like hide. Now I think well, at least I'm happy with it. I'm happy with all the different shades and stuff. And when you stand back and look at it, it does look like it could be a hide until you get right up on it. But we look at these figures from far back, so I don't know, it turned out pretty good. And it was hard, and I'm happy with the final results. Now, like I said, if I wasn't going to have hide, I'm going to have to do a pretty good job and everything else. So it was really important to get all this, would be fur on the real robe. I want to get all that accurate across the back here, the T across the back. I want to make sure that was accurate. And then even down to the belt here, I'm going to give you some close-ups here in a second. Down the belt, there's actually 6 vertical stitch lines that go across the front, and I had the sewing machine here, so I figured, if I can duplicate that again, like I said in my first video on this, I'm not going to be able to recreate everything, but if I can, I'm going to try. So I was able to get the stitch lines in there, and I got the tie at the front here, very similar to the way it was. And the gauntlets we've talked about turned out fantastic. I'm really, really happy with it. Considering that basically the whole figure, considering that we started out with nothing, absolutely nothing, especially with these gauntlets. Started out with absolutely nothing, and I think the finished result, I'm really, really happy with it. Even if I don't get the engraving and everything in there, I think it still reads really, really well. And the sword, we talked about that. Again, that's actually the very first thing I started with. I think it's all proportioned right and everything. It looks pretty good. It is movie accurate for the most part. It does have the square guard and the brass in there, and so that turned out good. The gloves turned out good. The pants, the only thing, this doesn't look anything like Indiana Jones anymore, obviously. The only thing remaining from India, the pants and the lower half of these boots and the body. That's it. And it's a skinny ass body, but by the time we got all the layers on here. Now, starting at the top here, this is probably a good time for the close-ups. I can talk about what I did here as I just scan down. Started out with the scarf there, the plaid. Now I went into fabric land, and the damn thing jumped right off the shelf and slapped me in the face, because it's almost the exact pattern, even down to the scale that it's actually in the movie. And you go down here, you see there's a little red wrap exposed. Now you don't really see it a whole lot in the scene. When he's on his back, it exposes itself underneath the robe. You can see he has some sort of a red wrapping underneath. So I want to include that. Now I want to expose a little bit, because we've got a lot of browns and tans here, and I wanted to just bring in some different colors and shades and textures and stuff like that. See if I can get in on this belt. I think you can just barely see it there. Those vertical stitch lines, I wanted to get that detail and the way it was tied. Like I said, the fur. Wanted to make sure that was accurate. See, when I'm looking at this robe through this screen, it looks like it's a hide. And like I said, it's a PETA-friendly figure. No animals were injured during the making of this. Gauntlets and the gloves. I mean, very, very happy with it. The boots even. You know, like half the stuff I didn't think I could do. Like I had said before, this is, you know, I brought every skill set I had to this job, and I learned a few along the way. So, you know, it's always great to learn something new. And like I said, I learned a few. Frustration was one. I've been frustrated building dioramas, man, but this was a whole new level of frustration. There was a few times last week that, man, I almost backed it in, but you know, that's the thing, you just stick to it. I went at this with both barrels, and I don't know, guys, we're done. I guess the next step here is we're going to send it off to Brian. Like you see, he's going to be seeing this video and knows that we're going to be chatting in the next few days. Yeah, looks good, guys. Looks good. I hope you guys can agree. If not, I guess it doesn't really matter. I'm happy with it. That's all that matters. Now back to the stuff I normally do, dioramas. Now I'm so tired. I'm a little worried about getting burned out on this, because when I burn out, I just turn right off. You know what I mean? It's popped in a box and never look at it again. So I really don't want this to happen here, because I really got something special here for diorama, and I'm not going to make the same mistake I made on that Arkham Asylum. As much as, you know, I like how that turned out, to my mind, the diorama, the figure is fantastic, but the diorama to me was a fail. Because I always look at it and feel incomplete. So I'm not going to make the mistake on this one, and I got something planned that I think will be pretty awesome. At least I'm pretty sure I can carry it out. After doing this, I think I could probably do anything now. But anyways, Brian, there it is. Your magic is next. And I'll do a video probably when I get the head back, and I don't know, I may do progress vids on the diorama. I don't really know. Like I said before, I don't particularly like doing that because it's distracting. But I think that's about it, guys. I'm on holidays this week, so I got a lot of time to prepare for the next level, next stage. I hope everybody out there is doing well. I want to thank everybody for their support through this project. I know it's not something that normally gets a lot of attention, but that's, you know, it's what I do. It's what I do. Anyways, guys, Wayne's Butler signing off. Peace and love to all.